Number 120, the Simpleton's Fallacy.
The Simpleton's Fallacy, 120. I was scrolling down. I wanted to see how many more we had. Or the Good Simpleton Fallacy, a corrupt fallacy of logos described in an undated quote from science writer Isaac Asimov as the false notion that democracy means that my ignorance is just as good as your knowledge. The name of this fallacy is borrowed from Walter M. Miller Jr.'s classic 1960 post-apocalyptic novel, A Canticle for Leibowitz, in which, in the centuries after a nuclear holocaust, knowledge and wait, in which in the centuries after a nuclear holocaust, knowledge and learning become so despised that good simpleton becomes the standard form of interpersonal salutation. This is reminding me a little bit of Idiocracy. This fallacy is masterfully portrayed in the person of the title character in the 1994 Hollywood movie Forrest Gump. The fallacy is wildly alleged to have had a great deal to do with the outcome of the 2016 US presidential election. See also Just Plain Folks and the Plain Truth Fallacy. US President Barack Obama noted to the contrary, 2016, in politics and in life, ignorance is not a virtue. It's not cool to know what you're it's not cool to not know what you're talking about. That's not real or telling that's not real or telling it like it is. That's not challenging political correctness. That's just not knowing what you're talking about. The term simpleton's fallacy has also been used to refer to a deceptive technique of argumentation, finding ignorance in order to get one's opponent to admit to, explain, or over-explain something she or he would rather not discuss. Example, I see here that you have a related prior conviction for something called criminal sodomy. I may be a poor, naive simpleton, but I'm not quite sure what that fine and fancy lawyer talk means in plain English. Please explain to the jury in simple terms what exactly you did to get convicted of that crime. See also argument from ignorance and the third person effect. I felt like the second part was more of an accurate application of what is specifically being labeled here as the simpleton's fallacy, whereas the first half seemed like it was just more of a regurgitation of argument from ignorance. Um, yeah,
Well, it is a variety of argument from ignorance.
yeah,
So that's why.
yeah, but it's saying that it's essentially looking at someone who is being ignorant and then labeling it as good because they're simple. And if it's basically an attack on complexity is what I'm seeing here. Because it's like if it's a
Basically, but
that's
also you can just be incorrect, like just entirely. Like
yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah. I think hmm, I think I've definitely when someone can say something plainly, and simply, like if it can make sense immediately so, uh, I tend to have a bias to think that that person is more correct or is just a more intelligent communicator overall. Um, like example, like some of these fallacies as I read them, I'm like, I don't understand what the fuck this person is saying, so I don't give a shit. Like that happens while I'm reading these, so I have to like really pay attention. And I'm like, just be better at explaining. But I also understand that
be better at learning.
right, 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 right. Be better at understanding the words. Um, So I definitely know that I have done this in the sense that I have looked at somebody who can speak more simply and been like, ah, they get it. When in reality, it's like, no, it's not that they get it. It's that I'm thinking too dumb. And I'm like, ah, they speak like me, you know? So it's like, oh, I gotta get smarter. Get more smarter, smarted, get smarted. Hashtag get smarted.
This also reminds me of something that would happen in Vector a lot, where people would just say a phrase that sounds very elegant, and it's like, well, if it's elegantly said, it must be true, kind of a thing. And it's like, no, well, no, not necessarily so. That one of them is like, you are the combination of the five people that you surround yourself most with. And that could be like, I believe that is an oversimplification of something else that is more true, that like people that you are close with influence you. uh I feel like that is more accurate, rather than just like, nope, it is the five people, specifically five, because that you surround yourself with, you become those five people. The sixth person does not count. um and if you only surround yourself with four people, there is a fifth person out there that somehow also influenced you. And it's like, how did you come up with five exactly? Um, yeah.
Yeah,
So, yeah, just because it's elegantly said, doesn't automatically make it true.
yeah,
Um, and sometimes it's just false.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Well, okay, I'll say that I did fall for all of that when I was in Vector. All of it. I fell for all of it. Um, I'm like, yep, all that's totally true. Um, until I thought about it a little more, like years later. I'm like, well, like it's probably mostly true, but like maybe not quite.
Yeah.
Um, Sarah, do you have any thoughts on this one? No. Okay.
I
Alan,
think
yeah.
like, yeah, for me, it's like a closing thought is, and I can't remember which, there was a fallacy that described this, and I'm not sure which one it was right now. But there's like this desire in my mind to create a definitive rule that works in all situations, and thus being able to alleviate the quote unquote burden on my brain of having to be present in every single moment and assess every single moment as it comes. Um, because I do think that there is value in being able to say things simply. And I also believe that it's not a reason to invalidate someone who's saying something that's accurate, but in a very complex fashion. And so it's like it for me, the thing that I'm pulling from this one more than anything is it's just an additional argument to be present with what every person is saying and to evaluate it, one thing at a time, as much as we, I think, as human beings have a bias to try or to desire to do whatever we can to check out of the present moment, because it saves more energy that way, or it has us feel less taxed in the current moment to do so. Um, so yeah, that's kind of the biggest thing I'm pulling from that one is a call to be present with everyone who is speaking, regardless if they speak simply or complexly, and just really seek the truth in what they're saying and seek the essence of what they're saying, and then decide how I want to respond to that essence.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like a lot of people would rather get an or not an a simple answer that is true enough, rather than what's more accurate. And then a lot of people, if they come up with the answer themselves, they're very attached to it, and they don't want to let it go. Um and yeah, and that's why falsifiability criteria for whatever you believe is important. Just you should always test whatever the thing is. But awesome, that is the simpleton's fallacy.